Hey, everybody. See if we can zoom out or something. Let's see. Kevin, what's up, man? Are you in the shop today? Chase is in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, Kevin, I already have a video. I've got several videos on my old phone. Man, it takes a lot to edit a video, a longer video. I mean, I reupholstered some chairs, some antique chairs last month or a couple of months ago, and I need to put that into a video, but I'm hoping to get to it tomorrow, but we'll see. Hey, Kevin, what's your video about? And Chase, what are you up to today? Are you in the shop or are you doing your job? Oh, nice, Chase. Happy Friday, man. Adobe Premiere Pro. I haven't used that. I just use CapCut. It's free. I haven't paid for any. I've been telling myself I need to switch to using the computer to edit, but I just haven't got the hang of it, so I'm still just using my phone. Hey, Suzanne, how's it going? So, Suzanne, what projects do you have going on today? Personally, I'm in the middle of building a desk for a client. So I was just hopping in. Last night, I spent about 3 hours milling 2-inch thick red oak for this desk. It's going to be a pretty heavy desk. It's going to have a big solid top, and then the two legs are connected. Yeah, Chase, the desk is coming along pretty good, man. I got one of the legs glued up. I didn't get in the shop till about 2 hours ago. So I got one of the leg panels glued up. I've got the other one ready to glue up. I thought I'd show you guys my process. And then I've got to do the 3 long boards for the top, which, man, it's hard. I don't know sometimes I don't get a great joint when I use the jointer. So sometimes I have to tweak it with the hand plane. So kind of hard. Spice rack, Kevin, man. If you look on Etsy, man, spice racks sell. I know, Suzanne, I've got so many projects in the back of my mind for selling at craft shows and online, but I got to pay the bill, so I'm going to do what people are paying me to build. But I've really felt the last few years being a little more artistic, but sort of. I mean, I use the laser a lot with that, but it's still an artistic process, I think. I think it's fun. Yeah, Kevin, you're on the right path, man. Ooh, dang. Chase has a good idea. I've never done that method. He says, get a 1/4 inch straight cut router bit and put the boards close to each other and run it through the joint. Yeah, I haven't done that method, but I have seen the same method with the table saw. But what I'll do, Chase, is I'll put the boards, like if there's my joint, or if this is my joint and it's not good enough, I'll put them like this, then run them both through the jointer at the same time. So if the jointer degree is off, it should line up. That helps, but I don't know. It's all right. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to zoom in. Kevin has a good question. He says, what are Domino router bits used for? Well, Kevin, good question, brother. Let me back it up here. I'm going to show you. We're going to zoom in here. So this is a Festool Domino. It's an expensive tool. I bought it before I went full time. I bought that and the dust extractor and the sander. Man, they're all game changers. But here's what it does. It cuts holes in wood, and you buy these. They sell these dominoes, is what they call them. They're made out of beech. Let me show you. And they're ribbed. So that they're ribbed, so they hold glue. That lets glue get squeezed out, so you get a better joint. So they grip really well. Another thing they do, Kevin, they cut this big, well, let me back it up here. I don't think you guys saw that. They cut this big slot. So they cut this slot in the wood. So let me show you my process real quick. We'll go into it. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked, Kevin. Thought you'd never ask. So let me walk you through how I do this. And, you know, everyone has their own process, you know. This is how I do it. I basically get the boards. You want to notate the grain direction. This one is like a smiley face. This one is a frown. This one's a frown. I mark all the boards because you want to alternate that when you're doing a glue up for a table or a panel. That minimizes any twisting or warping or cupping. So I line them up. I joint the boards to where I get a good seam, which is where the boards meet together. And if I like it, what I'll do is, let me take these out. Once I like it, what I'll do, they have what you call that triangle. I make a triangle that encompasses or is on all three of the boards. Then I label it 1, 2, and 3 so that when I take the boards apart, I know exactly how I want them to go back together during the glue up. Then I take a straight edge and put these marks at the same spot on all the boards. Then I run them through that. Then I do the Festool, which puts the hole in it. All right, so Josh is back. He says, I've seen guys say you want a tiny gap in the middle and tight on the ends. Evidently, keep the ends. Yeah, Josh, they call that a spring joint. I mean, you know, I've been doing this full time for 3 years. Over the last probably 5 or 6 years, I've made, I don't know how many dining room tables with this method. Haven't had anyone call and say anything pulled apart. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. The spring joint. Once you clamp, it's supposed to be tight and keep the ends tight. So I don't know. Then Chase is saying, I can only dream of having a Domino joiner. My wife would kill me. Chase, man, if you're doing tables, that's really why I bought it. When I went full time 3 years ago, I thought I was going to be selling a table a month. And I told myself, I was like, because this is at the time I just delivered a table to Georgia. This is like a $3,000 table. So I drove all the way from Oklahoma to Georgia and delivered it and set it up. And I was like, oh, now I can, you know, do this. And if I can sell a table a month, we can make this whole thing work. And what happened, that was around COVID. And man, I put an ad up, I put a Facebook Marketplace post, and I think I had, of that table I built for Georgia, I think I had 20 people across the country want one. But the problem was I could not find anyone during that time that would ship it for less than like 700 or 1,000. It was a ridiculous amount of money. They weren't taking new customers on. So that didn't happen. I actually haven't made a table for about a year and a half, which is good. I'm making other things, but I would recommend, if you're making larger furniture, the Domino works great. A buddy of mine, we did a demo, or not a demo, prototype of a chair a few months ago, and we used my Domino for the joinery on it. But so Kevin, you said you have someone reaching out to do a Festool sponsorship? That would be awesome. I get these weird emails that don't look like valid email addresses saying they want to do a sponsorship, but they want to send me free product and put it in my videos. Yeah, so I'm going to back up. I'm just going to glue this bad boy together. So that's my process, how I do it. Now I'm just going to glue this sucker up. The hard part's over. You know, when the first 3 boards for the desk legs, I really had to joint. I spent well over an hour getting a good joint I was happy with. But these 3, I didn't have to joint. I jointed them last night, but they were good. I was happy with the joint. So this is what I like to do. And this saves you a ton of, this not only adds strength, but it also adds, the big thing, it aligns the 2 boards so that you have a lot less sanding, a lot less finish work after the glue up. Oh, I'm trying to find my little brush. Well, guess I have to waste another one. Actually, let's use one of my, we're going to use a basting brush from Dollar Tree. I picked some up finally. Dang, Chase, that's awesome, brother. Congrats. I've got this desk, after this same order, I've got to build this desk. And I'm also building them like a little counter. It's a dirt company. When someone walks in, they need something that separates the desk from the entry. So I'm building that, probably starting it this afternoon. Then I also have to make them a sign on the laser for their company. So it's good. Bad news is, you know how it goes. I always underquote things. I'm like, oh, I can get that done in whatever. Takes longer. So I'm not going to make as much money on it, but it's a repeat customer. It's the same guy I did all those fishing plaques for like a couple months ago. So I'm happy to get repeat work. And it's definitely a lot better than being slow. You know what I mean? I'm actually booked until May. So for me, that's awesome. I've got cabinet doors to make 2 sets. I've got drawers to make next week and cabinets to make. Cabinet doors, not cabinets. And then I've got to get started. I've got to do that right after the desk, and then I've got to get started on that Dungeons and Dragons table because that's due in April. All right. Put some glue on this bad boy. You know what? I forgot to get my clamps over here, dang it. Start talking to y'all and I forget what I'm doing. It happens. I apply plenty of glue. You don't want to starve the joint, which means not having enough glue, or you're not wanting to clamp a crazy, ridiculous amount of pressure. If you jointed it well, you shouldn't have to put a huge amount of pressure. So hey Kevin, if you're still here, is it okay if I want to make a video of a shelf, a wall shelf that you did similar, if you're cool with it. I know I don't want to piggyback on your idea, but I do want to piggyback on your idea. I haven't made any for my channel, so I thought that'd be good to kind of make what you did with a spin on it. Let me know if you're cool with that. I gotta go grab the clamps real quick. Forgot all about it. Give me a sec. And the glue only has a certain amount of time, so I'm not gonna talk much right now. This is go time. You gotta get this all done before the glue starts drying. But there's no stress right now. I've already done a dry fit. I know everything fits. Well, we are going to put a little glue down here. And we already have numbers, so we know where everything goes. So that's a big thing about numbering and labeling all your work on something like this. Takes the stress out. The only stress you have is you got to really hustle to get it assembled before the glue dries. I can't remember, is it 10 minutes? Open time on Type Bond 3? I don't know. I know it gets a little tacky pretty quick, so. All right, let's keep going on this bad boy. If you have any questions, holler. I'll answer them in just a second once we get this on clamps. I always use my Type Bond 3 on this. Whether it's inside, outside, when I'm doing a big tabletop, I'll use the Type Bond 3. It's actually waterproof. You can use it for outdoor projects. I just like it. It spreads a little easier for me. I buy it by the gallon, so it works for cutting boards, and I use it for all the furniture mostly too. All right, get a good healthy amount of glue there. Let's go ahead and butter my biscuit, or my tenons, or my dominoes, whatever you want to call them. Only thing I hate about these little brushes, these acid brushes, man, those they come off. The brush fibers come off really easy. All right. Same thing. Let's butter this end of the tenon. All right, I can already tell that guy is a little off kilter. All right, let's throw this guy in. Should line up pretty well. And that domino has settings you can make. I make usually on a tabletop, I make one hole tight so it lines up really well, and then the others are loose because it'll go together much easier that way. There's a little slip in there. There's a little play in that one. I must have been off when I did the domino a little. All right. Make sure I like them. That one is off a little bit there, but I'll hand plane that. No biggie. Really depends. The domino, you can still get off of alignment with the domino if you have it at a weird angle or something like that. So, all right, now let's grab a pipe clamp and throw one the reverse way from the top instead of the bottom. Gives you better even clamping pressure. It equalizes the clamping pressure. There she be. Let's put the laptop. See what you guys are talking about. If you're talking about anything. So that's my process. I'm sure people probably do it differently. That's how I do it. I've still got to do the other 3 for the tabletop, but I wasn't planning on doing that on the live. I still have to join it and all that. All right, let's see what we got going on. Hey, Rebecca, how's it going? Aiden, what's up, man? Josh said he got burned out on cabinets and doing a couple of full kitchens. Gosh, I did my kitchen. That's the way I learned how to do cabinets about 3 or 4 years ago. I gutted the kitchen. The contractor gave us a quote, and then for the final visit, it was higher, and we just couldn't do it. So I said, you know what? We'll gut it, hire people to do the granite and the plumbing and electrical. But I built all the cabinets. That's when I learned how to do them. 3.5 years later, man, they're great. I go to friends' houses, and they have new cabinets where they paid like 20 grand. And they rattle. Yeah, mine are better. At least I think so. But that's the thing, Josh. I mean, I knew 3 years ago if I wanted to do cabinets full time, I could, and I could make pretty good money. But man, I've got a good sized shop, but it fills up very quickly when you make 4 or 5 cabinets. And that's not what I want to do all day long. I like doing the big stuff every once in a while. And I like selling the little stuff. I really would like to sell the smaller stuff. It's easier. It's less physical. But yeah, totally get it. Hey, see ya, Kevin. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Hey, Suzanne, you're back. Josh says, at least its edge grain glue up. In grain sucks it up so fast. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't do a lot of in grain glue ups. See ya, Aiden. All right, guys. What else do you guys have going on today? That's kind of all I had planned for the live, just to see what everybody's doing and to show you my process. Chase, I appreciate your that input on on joining with a router is a great tip. I've also seen where people will they'll put a piece of MDF, a factory edge or a clean edge, and then they'll butt that against the edge you want to joint on your board and use a flush trim bit instead of a straight bit, and that will joint your board. Honestly, maybe I should try that. I've never done it, because on a tabletop, for me to joint a 6 or 7 foot board, it's really tough on my little jointer. So I think I'll have to try that next time. Hey, what's up, Barndo boy? Rebecca says, hey, I wanted to let you know if everything works out with my new car, I'll be back at Mid-America. Hey, Rebecca, is Mid-America the You Follow meetup? Hey, Barndo, we were just, I glued up a panel for this red oak desk I'm building. Awesome, Rebecca. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be neat. Hey, Barndo boy, what are you doing today? Are you making anything in the shop? Now I've got to, so these were pretty easy. These were around 32 inches long, and the overall width is going to be 27 inches by like 31 for the table legs. These are going to be more challenging. This is the tabletop. So I've just got this little jointer. So it's hard to get great joints. So, you know, I have a big router bit. I bet that would work really well. Or hit something like his suggestion. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. So the next step is to joint these, make sure I like the seams, and then I've got other stuff to work on after these are glued up. And then tomorrow, I start cutting those dimensions, and that'd be amazing if I got it all assembled tomorrow and ready for finish. We'll see. It always takes a lot longer than I think, you know what I mean? It's never as quick as I hope. I'm going to take this clamp off for a minute because I have to go. I got to find room in the shop. I have to set this down because the longer glue up is going here and is not being moved. Once it's glued up, it doesn't move. But this guy, we're going to move it. Ugh. This thing's pretty heavy. This 2-inch thick red oak is no joke. I'm not trying to be a poet if you didn't know it. Oh, there we go. I'm going to switch to a parallel clamp. That way it'll stand up on its own, but I still want to apply. Yeah, Josh, I don't have a second person, so I've really thought, what do you think, Josh? I've always had this in the back of my mind. I don't have the money for a big, crazy $3,000 or $5,000 jointer. Wouldn't it be cool if you could put a feather board on the top to hold it in place? I always thought that would be a good solution. All right. So I've got 2 clamps from the bottom, 1 from the top. You want to alternate your clamping pressure. Gives you a better joint and you have less twist. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not cranking this down crazily. That can make your wood bow up. So, well, I'm trying to think where I have a spot to keep this. I think for now, we're just going to move it to the side. Yeah, we're just going to throw it over here. Keep it in the side. All right. I'm heading on to the next step. Man, that jointing trick sounds like a better idea. If you guys want to hang out, I appreciate it, but I'm going to go ahead and joint these boards. See what we can do. get this guy out of here. Whoopsie. It's a little crowded in here. I know I have a big shop, but you gotta wiggle stuff around and move it, and when you're doing bigger jobs. That's why most of my stuff has wheels on it. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go joint some boards, guys.
Let's try it. Mm-mm. Okay. A little scoop. Not bad.
Hey, Alexander, what's up, man? Just making a desk today. That's not bad. Oh, good. That's decent. It's not bad. Under. Mm-hmm. That's fine. What's up, Ellen? see. Ow. Dang, dude. Yeah, right? Yeah, there's a reason I wear steel-toed boots. Mr. Thornton? All right. Let's see if I missed any comments here. Whew, man. That thing's a bit heavy. Holy crap, this is going to be a little cray-cray. Build it to last, right? That thing is going to be a freaking beast. Honestly, Josh, I probably could have got by with 6/4, which is 1.5 inches. I really wanted to keep it 1.5 inches thick versus playing it down and being 1.25 inches. But after doing it, I could have gone 1.25 inches. Alan, I liked your t-shirt, man. Alexander, what job did you switch to? What are you going to be doing now? I think you're in computers or IT, right? Yeah, EW, it just cuts a cavity into the wood. And then I have these little dominoes that go in. It keeps everything aligned, plus it adds some strength. It's a great tool. I know, Alexander. I haven't eaten lunch. I'm getting kind of hungry too. Oh gosh, now Josh said biscuits and gravy. Man, I had that a couple of weeks ago. It was great. I made it. We used to make our own homemade biscuits, but those biscuits from Sam's, man, they're great. Easy. EW, chocolate gravy. Yeah, my wife's aunt grew up with chocolate gravy, so I've had it. It's not my thing. I'm like, meh, I'm good. Hey, Alexander, welcome to the dark side of gravy eaters. Cool, Alexander. I'm 3 years, next month will be my 3-year mark doing this full time. I left a 22-year IT career. Couldn't deal with the stress in the same company for 16 and a half years. Just time to go. All right, so I'm going to glue this sucker up. Appreciate you guys watching. Uncle Twig, what's up, man? We are making a desktop. We're just about to glue it up. So I'm going to put my mask back on. It's pretty dusty in here, and I always try to wear a respirator. So put some comments in the chat. Do me a favor, smash that like button. I appreciate you guys being here. My name's Steve with My Honey's Handmade. Let's move it around. Oh, I already had them in, Dorcas. Come on, man. Will. adjust that. Yay, yay. Let's do this, man. Oh man, I should have banged that in. Oh well. Excellent. Almost there, y'all. Dang, that's heavy. Ah. Ah. This one. Pretty good. Pretty good. There's one. One bar right there. All right, all right, all right. Woo! All right. And that's what a glue up looks like, y'all. Ooh, what Joe post? Let's see. A cedar ice chest. Awesome, Joe. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That'll be cool. Hey, Alan. See if that video updated. So we got this bad boy glued up. Well, I'm switching gears. I'm calling it a lunch break. That's a stopping point on the desk today. Now I got to clean up. Got all this sawdust with cubbies. BW, man, you're awesome. Appreciate you, brother. Chubby guy working for tips. Hey, man, I'm not sure that I qualify. Thing. Just kidding, brother. This is old age, brother. All right. Thanks, y'all. I'm tired. So this is the one I glued up before you guys joined. This is the one we did earlier on the live. And we did this from start to finish. We jointed it. We used the Festool Domino. Oh, sorry, Joe. So yeah, we used the Festool Domino to joint it. How we did this was, once we get the board where we like it and have a good seam, which is where the two boards meet, create a carpenter's triangle, number them 1, 2, 3, so you know how the boards go back together. Then we did straight lines where we want our dominoes, and we used our Festool Domino to cut the slots in, and we inserted those with plenty of glue. Got it clamped. This will stay in clamps till tomorrow about this time. So I always leave mine in clamps 24 hours. Some people say, oh, 4 hours, 8 hours. You know, I want to be completely sure. So yeah, so now it's my lunchtime. I'm taking a break. This is my stopping point for the live. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Joe, I'm super stoked. If you guys are big into vinyl, check this out. This is something a customer's picking up today. I made a map that has all the she picked 60 record shops in the United States. And I've got these little black pieces of wood. Once you visit one of these shops, you put it in there. So, kind of fun. All right. See you, Alexander. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, BW. Joe, Alan. Thanks for hopping in. Hopefully I have a video out Saturday on reupholstering chairs and building wooden inserts for the chair bottom. So have a good one, guys.